Let's bring in Chad Wolf. You know Chad, former acting DHS Secretary, Heritage Foundation visiting fellow at this point. Hey, Chad, you see this before, but not at this numbers. What changed?
Well, what I can tell you is we have a full-blown crisis on our southwest border at the moment. I would say what has changed is the messaging out of the administration. Back in 2019, under President Trump, we had messaging as don't come because you will not be let into the country. We know that the vast majority of these folks do not qualify for asylum. But unfortunately today we have a different set of messaging and a different set of policies in place which are encouraging. They are the pull factors that we see today, which is encouraging this crisis.
All right, let's hear from the president and get your reaction on the other side. Listen to this. This is Joe Biden.
The idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy and I won't do what Trump did.
They're saying this.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. They're not.
Do you have to say quite clearly, don't come?
Yes, I can say quite clearly, don't come. And what we're in the process of getting set up, don't leave your town or city or community.
But Chad, you just heard Griff Jenkins say he interviewed that migrant, and the man said that's not the message being spread down here. It's being spread to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you had a DHS official, secretary, talk about from the White House podium saying you can come, but don't come now. So their messaging is certainly not consistent. But at the end of the day, these illegal migrants don't listen to government officials. They listen to other illegals who have gotten into the U.S. that call them and tell them that they are here, they are staying in the U.S., they are not being deported or removed back to their home countries. That's how they vote. That's what they're listening to. So as long as they see other individuals coming into the U.S., being catch and released into the U.S. and staying here, you're going to continue to see this surge.
But Chad, wasn't this a part of the plan all along? Here's Joe Biden talking about this back in 2019, saying that we need more immigrants here, maybe 2 million. Take a look.
We could afford to take in a heartbeat another 2 million people. The idea that a country of 330 million people cannot absorb people who are in desperate need and who are justifiably fleeing oppression is absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I would also move to increase the total number of immigrants able to come to the United States.
Chad, what's your reaction?
Well, what I would say is the U.S. is certainly the most welcoming country in the world when we talk about refugees and asylees. But obviously the facts also dispute a lot of what was just said there. 90% of these individuals do not qualify for asylum, are not being persecuted under the asylum laws that we have today. And so what that means is we have to remove them. So if they come into the U.S., we do the catch and release. Right. We then have to go out and find them and remove them. And that is an inhumane policy and an inhumane message that we want to send to folks. Come up, spend your life's worth trying to get into the U.S., stay here for a year, and then be removed back to your home country. It's not the right message, and it's fueling this crisis.
Is it right to jump the line over everybody else doing things right, paying the fees, filling out the forms, going by our laws? Meanwhile, guess what? It's your fault. That, according to the new DHS secretary. He blames the Trump administration. Quote, the prior administration completely dismantled the asylum system. We have to rebuild the entire system, including the policies, procedures required to administer the asylum laws that Congress passed long ago. The prior administration tore down the lawful pathways that have been developed for children to come to the United States in a safe, efficient, orderly way. The previous administration also cut foreign aid funding to the Northern Triangle. Do you want to deal with those facts as they see them?
Absolutely. There's a couple of points being made there. One, we gave them one of the most secure borders that we've ever had. We gave them a network of policies that allowed them to quickly remove individuals, to seek protection closer to their home countries in the Northern Triangle, and provide them the asylum system through MPP. All of it was working. We briefed the transition team. We gave them the results of if they decided to remove these policies, what would happen. So the fact that they're not prepared today is really quite unconscionable. When we talk about asylum system, saying that the Trump administration tore that down, nothing could be further from the truth. We hired over 500 asylum officers. We addressed the asylum backlog, and during the 4 years of the Trump administration, DHS and DOJ gave more people asylum than the last 4 years of the Obama administration. So this claim that we tore down a system is simply not backed up by the facts.
And you restored their aid too, right? You restored the aid to the Triangle
Absolutely.
countries when they were responsive to your request to rein in their population.
Absolutely. So what we did there was we held them accountable. We wanted to see results before we provided them millions and millions of dollars in foreign aid, and that's how it should be. We worked with them. We signed over a dozen different agreements with the Northern Triangle and had some of the best cooperation, and we restored that foreign assistance when we saw those results, and that's how it should be.
Chad, is that money, that American money, is it going to these Triangle countries so that they can fix the problems there where they do have oppression, where they do have persecution, where they do have where these folks who want to come over here and claim asylum because they're dangerous areas where they live? Are they using that money to fix that problem?
Yeah, so they're using some of our foreign assistance funding to not only deal with sort of the rule of law and corruption issues in the Northern Triangle, but also for border security for that illegal or irregular migration flows. And so we need them to do both. We need them to address the root causes of that migration, but also on the security front. And that's what we were pushing at the end of the Trump administration. And again, we saw some really great results. We did not have any migrant caravans in 2020 under these agreements. And we did not have these surges that you see today as well.
All right, Chad, thank you so much for being on with us.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.